Greetings, everyone. My name is Jean-Marc Hachey. I'm the author and online publisher of My World Abroad. I'm also the author of a well-known book called The Big Guide to Living and Working Overseas, available throughout the U.S. and Canada and found in career offices all at leading universities, in fact, almost all universities throughout North America. Thanks for joining us today. The thing I'd like to accomplish today is to give you a general overview of how to help students make use of My World Abroad. You may be a career advisor, or you may be a student intern working in the career office, or an advisor in the study abroad office or intern in that office. And so helping students understand how our site works is in a very short form is going to be helpful for you. Now, we're looking here at the home page to My World Abroad, and our two building blocks of information are articles and resources. We have 300 articles located throughout the site on every conceivable topic related to living and working internationally, as well as 4,000 resources located in 50 separate resource lists located throughout the site. And I'd like to start this presentation out by going to a web page called The Four Big Things. And this is an important page because it helps students through a four-part process in building what our byline says, global career skills. So learning about international skills and gaining international experience while in school, and then looking for internationally oriented work once they graduate, with a universal approach to finding international work, and searching for internationally oriented work by profession or by industry. Now, one of the key concepts around this page is that it contains 100% of our content found in this four-part process. Now, not all students want to go through a four-part process to read up on international skills, so we've designed our website to give multiple access points to the same information, but in various ways that are more user-friendly to the student. So one of those key ways is the "What do you want to do" section. And so here I am landing on the "What do you want to do" section, and this is the absolute easiest way to help students access our information quickly. So what we've essentially done here is we've created 10 small books, a summarization of the key information, so related to, in this case, work abroad basics, work abroad advanced, intern abroad, volunteer abroad, working vacations abroad, teaching English abroad, travel abroad, study abroad, learn a language abroad, and building international skills. So let's have a peek on what we've done in terms of looking at one of these elements, interning abroad. So here we are on the "What do you want to do" intern abroad page. And what's important here to help you as advisors or student interns helping out other students to access the site is that we've hierarchized information. So we've put together the key articles so that to identify what students should read first about interning abroad. Just a few basic articles to get them started. Then for those students who want to go more in detail about interning abroad, perhaps they're looking for a more professional internship abroad, we give them more information, all they need to know about interning abroad. And then lastly, we help them find an internship. In this case, we know you can't read this screenshot right here, but we have 5 different databases to help students find an internship abroad. So those students who are really want to get right to the point right away could just dive in and find internships using our database. We do encourage most students, though, to read at least a minimum amount of information, and then for those students wanting to push the envelope a little further, they can find information. So in the What Do You Want to Do section, all of the various 10 Go Abroad experiences are actually organized this way. So there you go. This is the most basic information about making use of the website, but let me move forward and to give you a few other key elements to help you understand how to navigate our site and how it's organized. One of the key things I'd like to do is talk about 3 various design principles that you'll find on the site. The first one I've already looked at is that, and just to recall, the four big things contains 100% of our content, but we provided multiple access points to the same information in different ways depending on how the student wants to access essential Go Abroad information. So different students want to access information in different ways, so we've provided multiple access points to this information, including right here something called the right-hand sidebar. Another design principle that we've had a look at is something called hierarchization of information. So throughout the site, we've organized information in hierarchy or in a summary so that students can speed read our information. Even if you read some of our articles, you'd quickly realize that these articles are written in terms of promoting speed reading. We use bulleted list, highlighted key points, etc. So hierarchization of information. And thirdly, the last element that's very important on the site is something called peer-to-peer advising. So students learn best from other students. So you will find throughout the site peer-to-peer advice. So in this case, we're in the intern section. So we have something called intern stories from abroad. So the stories from abroad is the building blocks by which we provide peer-to-peer advising throughout the site. But there's other elements such as all of the sections begin with top tips and student quotes. So top tips is hierarchization of information, and student quotes is making use of our peer-to-peer advising. So there are some of the ideas around the structure of the site. I'd like to return to the 4 big things and just to provide a few more high-level ideas about our site. So as we mentioned, our key philosophy is that students have to build international skills and gain international experience so that they are ready to look for internationally oriented jobs once they graduate. So basic information right here, students just starting out, and more advanced information in this area, students in their final year of a bachelor's or a master's program getting ready to look for professional work. We provide a universal approach to international job hunting, so all the standard job hunting phases, from researching employers, targeting your international job search, your international elevator pitch, international resumes, selling your international skills, international interviews. So a universal approach to international job hunting, as well as recognizing a universal approach to international job hunting. We also recognize the nuances in certain high volume internationally oriented professions. So things like international engineering, international health, international development, international law, international business. So all of these things are very important, helping students go all the way and gain international skills while in school and look for internationally oriented work once they graduate. Now, I'd like to talk just briefly a little bit about each one of these 6 sections. International skills are one of the key building blocks of going abroad. There is a universal set of skills that define international people. International people are different than people who haven't traveled, and so international recruiters of all types, whether they're recruiting for volunteer positions abroad, abroad, internship positions abroad, working vacation abroad, teaching English abroad, applying for an international study abroad scholarship, or if they're looking for full-fledged professional work. In all of the scenarios, the recruiter wants to know, is this student going to survive in a culture other than their own, away from their normal support units of family and friends? Are they going to be able to nuance their behavior in a cross-cultural work environment? Do they know what skills are required for succeeding overseas? So these are essential sections about helping students understand international skills, and especially from a recruitment perspective. So we use very precise and helpful terminology, so helping students understand and speak professionally about their international skills. Now, as students start to read up about international skills, they quickly realize that they have to go abroad in order to gain those skills. And so we cover all the Go Abroad venues, and what we're known for here is our entrepreneurial approach to gaining international experience, as well as helping students maximize the career value of every Go Abroad experience. Remember, our overall idea here in My World Abroad is to help students and to help career offices and study abroad offices integrate the career value of the Go Abroad experience. So yes, it's amazing to study in France. It's exciting to make new friends in Spain. It's mind-boggling to volunteer in West Africa and or intern in Singapore. But if you go abroad with a career perspective and that you integrate career aspects into that Go Abroad experience, you're going to really maximize the value of those experiences. So you have to do that while in school so that you're ready to look for internationally oriented jobs once you graduate. Now, who is going to hire you when you graduate and decide to continue on in internationally oriented work? A lot of people ask us about the international job search or the country-specific job search. Here is a basic rule about international job hunting. So, country-specific job searching. Imagine walking into an office, you're an engineering student, you walk into the career office and you say, I studied in Italy, I picked up some international skills, now I would like to work in Italy. I'd like to find an engineering job in Italy. That essentially is asking a country-specific job search. It is almost impossible to do a country-specific job search for professional work. Now, more on that in a moment. You can do country-specific job searching for low-skilled work. So you can search by country for a volunteer position abroad. You can search by country for an intern position abroad, working vacation position, teaching English abroad, and of course, looking for study abroad opportunities. There you can do country-specific job searching because it's easy to get working vacation visas or sometimes even working under the table. But when it comes to looking for professional work, it is almost impossible to do a country-specific job search. Why? Because if you try looking for work in Italy, you would have to prove, as an engineering student, for example, that no other engineer is available in Italy is available to do that work, and so you would then qualify for a work visa. So it's very, very hard to look for professional international work, especially when you just graduate and you don't have a lot of internationally oriented experience or work experience. Now, who does hire internationally experienced students with international experience and international skills? Fully 85% of young professionals who are working in international jobs are doing so with, if they're a U.S. student, with U.S. private sector firms, U.S. NGOs, and U.S. government departments. And if you're a Canadian student listening to this, the same applies for Canadian students. 85% of young professionals working in internationally oriented jobs are doing so with Canadian private sector firms, Canadian NGOs, and Canadian government departments. So how do you locate internationally oriented employers? If you can't do a country-specific job search, you do an industry search for that job search. So imagine the U.S. engineering student looking for international work. They would then have to do an industry job search for the U.S.-based engineering firms hiring for internationally oriented jobs. Now, they may find those engineering firms, let's say, in Dallas, and it is that Dallas-based engineering firm that will then send the student to work on an oil platform in Angola, to build an oil pipeline in Chad, or to work in a mine in Chile. There's one model that students can use, and that might be Apple. So a U.S. company sending you to work abroad. But here's the biggest growth area for internationally oriented jobs with U.S.-based companies. Those internationally oriented jobs are based right here in the U.S. With the new global economy, every size company in the U.S. can go global. A small company, a mid-sized company, a large company, they're all able to go global today with the power of the internet, the ability to put together international work teams, the ease of purchasing services from around the world, the ease and low cost of international travel. All of these elements combined means that there are exponential growth. There's exponentially numerous jobs based right here in the U.S. for internationally experienced students to work with international employers. And in fact, those people who graduate with international skills and international experience are going to have a big competitive edge over their other colleagues as the world becomes more and more global. So there we go, giving you a overall view of our site. So maybe I'll give you a couple of last tips in terms of what we have on our site. And I'm just going to go to ND Random page and show you something called the right-hand sidebar. This is a great area to explore, somewhat like small morsels of chocolates of all of the key elements on our site. So we encourage you to peek and have a look at the right-hand sidebar for different ways to access on the site. And if I can encourage you to look at some of these last elements, you'll benefit from some great advice there for the more advanced student. Now, another great element is the top resources. You'll find all kinds of key resources, starting off with job boards, and these are for internationally oriented jobs, so international engineering job boards, international health, international NGO, international relations, internship resource list, volunteer resource list, working vacations and teaching English abroad, travel smart resources, and of course the all-important country guides and your international IQ. So great elements under the top resources, as well as the My World blog. We are very active in social media, so if you want to follow us, we're blogging every day, as well as posting on Twitter 3 and 4 times a day, and posting in Facebook 3 or 4 times a week. So do consider following us and sharing our information with your friends. So one last point, do explore, if you're advising students, the tools for students and the student advisor column. Lots of great information there. And with that, this ends our little introduction to My World Abroad, and this is Jean-Marc Hachey saying farewell and thanks for looking at this webinar, My World Abroad, Global Career Skills Start Here. Thank you.